Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Monday night, 8 p.m. can mean only one thing. It is the Online Darts Live Lounge with me, Phil Bars. And today, Cam McFarlane steps in for Dan Simpson as he's off sunning himself over in Dubai. Cam, how are we doing, my friend?
Not so bad, mate. Not so bad. Yeah, I got the short end of the stick. I've got to sit with you rather than sit in Dubai. It's not outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, absolutely outrageous behaviour there. To be fair, he's been in the chat and he looks like he's had a good old time over there.
Enjoying himself, is he, the lad? Yeah, as always, not working too hard. Or he's always doing something other than working, that boy, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. First of all, mate, been a while since you've been on. I think you covered for me in New York. How are things?
Yeah, I think that was the last time, wasn't it? When you were off enjoying yourself. This is the thing. I just every time someone's enjoying themselves, I get pulled in to do this. No, it's always a pleasure to be on. Nice to talk something other than cricket for once now that the season's done as well, basically.
Yeah, I'd say it's been busy time for you, obviously, cricket-wise. Did you enjoy the finale?
Oh, I did, yeah. Finals day was unbelievable. Other than Liam Livingstone getting absolutely robbed in the semi-final, other than that, it was a great day out. I mean, Somerset well deserved the title in the end, and just a quality day cricket. There is nothing like finals day. Anyone that's not been, there is no experience quite like a full day of 3 games in the Hollies with the crowd going wild.
No, I hated it, obviously, being a Hampshire lad.
Yeah, I bet you did. I mean, tying the record score as well in a final and then getting beat is some way to miss out. But yeah, not a lot that you could really do about it. It's just an unbelievable knock from Will Smead.
As well, you not long now to the big day. Has everything done? Everything prepped, ready to go?
Yeah, other than my speech, which is basically all I've been given to organise. Yeah, other than that, I've been told I'm not allowed to just wing it like everyone that knows from this channel knows. I wing most of it as we go along. Yeah, I've got to actually write it. So yeah, other than that, yeah, the future Mrs. McFarlane has done all of the organising. Everything's been organised for ages.
Are you ready for Jar's speech?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure I've made the right call there, but we'll find out on the day.
The chat room.
I hope he's listening.
Yeah, I was blessed. It depends if he's allowed at the moment. He normally comes in around 8:30.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he'll still be doing like I don't know, like putting the child to bed, like massaging her feet and whatever else he has to do before he's allowed to do his own stuff.
I tell you what, I know we take the mick out of him, and I love the boy to bits, but it reminds me of the Only Fools scene. Remember Rodney comes in and went, "Can you untie Dal? Someone's on the phone." The chat room is Ram. Saint for life, how we doing? Dell is in. Chris, how we doing? Kay, Adam, how are we doing? Owen, Warren, James, Nicholas, Wayne, Marcus, Daniel, how we doing? Of course, Stu is in. Hope you are good. Kyle, Rob, how we doing? It is rammed in here today already.
It's in tonight. They must. It's someone let them know that I was on.
Yeah, Rob says proper cricket, none of that 100 rubbish. I like the 100.
I'm a fan of the 100 as well. To be honest, it is. It does what it needs to do. It gets the youngsters in, and it gets people in that wouldn't be watching cricket otherwise, and the future generations of cricket fans. As much as we all like the county setup as it is, like 20 years time, there's gonna be no one watching it because they're all gone. So you do need to have the next generation coming through, and that's what the 100's done.
Mind you, it was better than the farce at Cardiff the other day, the 5 over.
Yeah. At least they didn't attempt to do any of that yesterday because it just pissed down all day.
Yeah. Fraser, how we doing, buddy? Scott is in. Dixie, Seamus. I tell you what, I'm loving it, everyone. Charlie is in. Look, Ryan will be with us shortly. Just obviously, I haven't really spoke to you properly darts-wise since the match play. What's your take been on the first half of the season then, Cam?
I'll be honest, I shouldn't say this, but I probably haven't kept up with it as much as I should have done because I've been busy with everything else. But I mean, I'm going to go recency bias and just go this weekend. The biggest take for me has got to be MVG back in the winner's circle. Like, I know we'll come on to that and we're going to talk about that as we go across the week, the weekend's action. But yeah, it's good to see, and it's good to see him back. Obviously, we've seen plenty of good thoughts about like Josh Rock's been in cracking form as well, which is always good to see, because he's one of those that has got to be in the sort of in the conversation for the travelling circus next year, and someone that we're going to see a lot more of on the telly.
Hold on.
You what? Yeah,
I think you've nailed on.
He's too entertaining and he's too good fun not to be in it. And I said this for ages, like it's great having some of these players in there that are the big names, but we all want entertaining darts on a Thursday night. We want it to be exciting and fun and big averages and big checkouts. And that's what it's there to do. So yeah, seeing him in a bit of form and obviously sort of recent protos as well, like Gezi back in the winner's circle and Joe Cullen back in the winner's circle as well, which is definitely great to see because he's another one that he's had a bit of a lean spell, but it's good to see him back and playing some of his best stuff.
Yeah. Anthony is in. The Littler household is watching. I hope you got home okay, mate, because I see there was a lot of delays from Schiphol Airport today. Unlike me, take the train.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare, can old I had a lovely time in the lounge on the way to me stag do because I stopped over there on the way to Hamburg. It was 3 hours of free booze. I had a wonderful afternoon. That's why you managed to talk me into doing this.
Yeah, it was. I was like, yeah. Before you go away, however, you always good to have the little household in. But yeah, like you say, the way that this is now shaping up, beforehand it was Luke and Luke. They were dominating everything, and rightfully so. They were the best two players in the world by a long way. But in the last 5 weeks, all of a sudden, we've got people coming to party again, which sets up the end of 2025. What could be an incredible year.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what we want. Going into the Worlds, you want a load of people that are all playing well. And rather than going, oh, it's going to be Luke or Luke, going, you know what? 5, 6, 7, 8 of these could all win this.
Yeah. Oh, look, Gezi's looked great. As you say, Josh Rock, since the World Cup, superb. Michael has now thrown his head back in the equation. It's like, hang on a minute, this could be interesting. But the other interesting fact is, with only 7 Pro Tours to go, the top 3 in the world are not guaranteed Minehead.
No.
They're in a bit of bubble. Luke Littler is in, but then Luke Humphreys and Michael outside at the moment. That could be interesting.
Yeah, it is. We don't often see that, do we? It's not something that we're usually sat here going that the people at the top of it, at the top of the overall rankings, are not guaranteed to make it.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts. Just imagine, like, they've got to go and, like, yeah, I don't see how it blows my mind a little bit, like, and that we just expect them to be there, don't we? Like, we don't even think about it. We don't consider it that they might not make it, but they are on the outside looking in at the moment.
Well, up until this weekend, I didn't think Michael would make it for a couple of reasons. One, the form wasn't there, and 2, I didn't think he'd played enough Pro Tours. But he said at the weekend he's going to play in at least 5 of the 7, which is more than I thought he was going to.
Yeah, and when you look at where he is on the outside, sort of looking in, he's what, 9.5 grand away?
Yeah.
Like, that's easily made up over 5 Pro Tours if he turns up and has a couple of good runs.
Yeah, he's going to have to produce what he produced at the weekend. But I didn't think he was going to play in that many. So I was like, I can't see him making it. Because I was like thinking, even if he got to a final, that wouldn't be enough because that would only put him 500 quid in. And then if he doesn't play, that's easily swallowed up.
Yeah, exactly. That wouldn't be enough to sort of, like you say, push him further on. But if he can have 2 deep runs and he's going to be there 5 times, he's going to pick up money every time as well. Obviously, all of the others on the outside or around that bottom end are going to be turning up to most you'd expect as well. But it is just that opportunity. I think Humphreys is not going to be a doubt. I think he'll do more than enough to get in. He's on the same money as the bottom 2 in there. I don't think he's a worry. But like I say, for Michael, he is a bit further out there, and there's a lot of people that could still put money on their figures as well. I think it's one of those, though. Like I say, now that he's won an event, back in the winner's circle, and now that he's going to go in there, he obviously wants to make it. Like, he wants to be there. Otherwise, he wouldn't be going to the 5 that he's going to. Well, I think he'll be motivated when he gets there, and I fancy him to make up that difference that he needs to.
Yeah, and the good thing for the Nuke is I think 4 of the last 7 are in Wigan.
Yeah, so
nice it's 5 minutes from home.
Yeah, not too difficult to make your way to those ones.
Do what he needs to do, and then just cement that that place. But
back on the Xbox for 6 o'clock.
But this is the interesting thing, that we look at those players in, like we're talking about, and even Gezi to an extent. This is the first year where the top boys have had to try and manage their calendars properly, as in, right, we actually need to look what we're doing here. And I don't think they've all got it right, but it's a learning curve.
Yeah, like I say, it's new, isn't it? Like there's the other ones in there, like us on the outside looking in at the moment as well, and there's quite a few of them that maybe haven't got it quite right yet. But like I say, it is the first year that it's sort of worked out like this, and they are going to have to get used to it and make sure they get it right going forwards.
Just out of interest, if you were a player, would you play them early, get it done, and then take your time off? Or would you do like someone that have done, take the time off early, but then you're chasing?
I'd want to be in there early. However, I suppose it depends on what else you've got going on, and like family life, home life, whatever, where you might want to take a break with the kids when you can over the summer, or like when they're not in school, it might be missing some. But yeah, you'd like to have it done early and not be worrying, wouldn't you? Like, you'd like to be up the top there where Gezi is.
Yeah, or just do what Gary does. Just play when you want. Just rock up and go, yeah, I can still do this.
Yeah, exactly. It don't matter when I do it. I know I'm going to do enough, so I'm not stressed one bit anyway. But yeah, for us normal people that aren't able to do what he can do, like I'd be going, right, I'm going to bash for all these early on. And you know what? If I'm in there, I'll give myself a bit of time off. If I'm not in there, then I'm going to have to play all of them and just do it up until I make sure I get in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw it on the Pro Tour, but Gary hadn't thrown a competitive dart since the match play. He'd had some exhibitions, but not thrown a competitive dart since the match play. Rocked up, game 1, leg 1, missed double 12 for a 9.
Yeah, he's always told us he doesn't practice, but like the more I see him do things like that, the more I genuinely believe that he doesn't need to practice. Like it's just natural, and it looks natural with the throw anyway, doesn't it? It's so smooth, and yeah, just even like the sort of viral clip of him busting the tops against Rids. Like you look at it and just like to be that good to just ping the ball straight in the middle when you're trying to bust it anyway. Like it's not easy to bust 40. Like it isn't easy to bust it.
And he does it with one dart, pins it in the middle.
Yeah, not even at the treble 20 that he throws that all day. Just straight at the ball, straight in the middle. Like apologizes and then just pings in a 180 next visit at the start of the next leg.
We talk about it quite a lot. Do you think he can get his hands on a pot this year?
I hope so. I really hope so. But I don't know. It's gone on a while now, hasn't it? And as much as he is that good and he can just rock up and do it, doing it consistently over a weekend to pick up a pot is a lot trickier than doing it in one game. And I want to say yes because I just love to see it. But I think with what's left this year, I think it might be pushing it.
I think for Gary, actually, his best chance might be the slam because he can prep himself for one game a day, apart from the final day. I think that might actually, like we say about other players, is if they're lucky or not lucky, but if they're good on one day, they can get it done. I think it's the opposite for Gary.
Yeah, he needs to sort of not have to overdo it on one day and be able to just rock up, play a game, take his time off, and then get ready again for the day afterwards. Yeah, I think you're probably right with that. I'd love to say, I mean, I don't know, we're obviously counting the Worlds as this year, even though it ends next year. I'd love to say it'd be that one. That'd be the dream. That's the dream scenario that he rocks up and wins that. But
my only concern with that is that if he does that, I worry he walks on the spot.
Yeah, and at his age, where he's at right now, and the prize money he gets for it if he does it, I wouldn't be surprised either. I think it's the perfect way to go out. But yeah, maybe we don't let him win it because we want him. Let him have a final, and then he thinks, you know what, I can come and do it again next year, and I might be able to win it next year.
Mind you, what a headache that would be, because then all of a sudden your world champion wouldn't be in anything. It would be so funny.
Yeah, it would. Like when you come to like the Prem, match play, everything else, and you've got no world champion at any of them, and I think he'd enjoy that being the case as well.
Oh, I think he'd love it. I think he'd absolutely love going, hi, bye, do one.
Yeah, that's it. All
Right,
these
everyone.
contractual things you want me to do and have Sky Sports on my shirt and everything else. Not a chance, lads.
Right, everyone. Our guest is here, so give us a second, and we'll be back on the other side of this. Everyone, welcome along for the first time on the live lounge, the one and only Mr. Heavy Metal Ryan Searle. How are we doing, my friend?
Hey, mate. You all right? How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How's things?
Yeah, good. Can I just put out there that I did have to invite myself on?
Yeah, he did. He was like, why have I never been on yet? I was like, you're on now. Let's get this sorted.
He absolutely had you there straight away, boys. How have you not invited him on before?
I think a lot of it is because the Euro tours, when we're sorting out guests, it's like, because you guys normally don't travel back till the Monday, do you? So it's a nightmare trying to arrange around when you guys are available. First of all,
it's a good excuse, I suppose, but
He's not buying it, but yeah.
No.
But to be fair, by your social media, I'm not sure who's the worst traveller, you or Dobie, because one lives in the south, one lives in the north, and you two seem to have it worse than anyone else.
No. Someone always seems to crash when I'm driving. It's insane. Happens every time, or flights cancelled or whatever. But there we are.
Look, it's great to have you on. First of all, let's get to know Ryan. Everyone sees Ryan the dart player, but down in Somerset, how's life with the kids? And is it you, Devon? I know you're on the board a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm Devon now. Yeah, I've moved from the border, so I'm full on. I'm full on Devon now. You can't tell from Somerset.
Been off Somerset. It's like I'm having it.
Yeah, Devon through and through.
How's life down there? 'Cause you're not a million miles from me. I'm Hampshire.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, it's all right. Weather's a bit rubbish. Slowly getting back into darts now after the summer holidays. I had a bit of a break like I always do. Spend time with the kids, and I feel like a bit of form's coming back. And got a new patio being laid at the house. Trying to sort out. We had a bad tenant in our property, so we kicked him out, and we're trying to get that all sorted out now to be ready to be rented again. And just other things away from darts, really.
This is the bit that people don't hear, because people just think that you're dart players and you don't have everyday problems like everyone else. It is the thing. People just think, they're on the TV, they've got it sorted.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, like I say, it was a bit of a pain. We had to kick him out because he kept breaking the tenancy and stuff. So, yeah, got him out. He left it in a bit of a state as well. So we had to try and sort that out. Obviously, it's a bit difficult because with the time and it was summer holidays and we had the kids home, and obviously they didn't really appreciate us dragging them along to do that as well. So it was kind of dragged out over the summer holidays. But I think
your summer holiday activities. Let's go and tidy this room.
I know exactly. Yeah. So
they do a bit of painting, sort out.
I know. Yeah, they were fuming about that. So we eventually. I
love that. Away from darts, you're a sports fan? And any other sports that you enjoy playing?
I like rugby. Used to play a lot of rugby when I was younger. I like tennis as well. I used to really enjoy playing tennis. Other than that, not really. I watch football if it's on. I support Arsenal. Supported Arsenal since I was a kid. But I don't go out my way to watch matches. If I'm eating my tea and it's on, I'll put it on. But I do like winding up other people, especially Tottenham fans. Just
I was going to say, Bargy just nearly kicked you out of the room immediately.
Yeah. So.
I like it's just getting to know people away from darts, because obviously you must get bored of the same all the time when you go to darts, and you have to do your pre-match with all the host broadcasters because they all want the same stuff, and you're like, here we go again.
Well, it's just the same questions over and over, and it can get boring. I don't know how, obviously when I went to watch Luke when he won the World Championship and he's not finishing his media till midnight, you know what I mean? He doesn't get time to go in and enjoy and celebrate that, massive moment of winning, and it's I don't really agree with that. And then he's up the next morning and he's for 8 o'clock. I don't really get a chance to
doing like BBC and Sky and all the rest of it in the morning as well. It should be like, right, you can have 10 minutes after it's done. I know it obviously doesn't suit the media and the sponsors and everything else, but 10, 15 minutes after it's done, everyone gets some questions in and then let them go off and enjoy it.
Well, yeah, because it's only the same. It's only different. yeah, it's only different people asking exactly the same questions, isn't it? So,
What was that like going to watch Luke at the Worlds? Because I say going to Ali Pali as a fan and supporting your best mate out there. What was that moment like?
Yeah, it was really cool actually. Obviously, I took my partner Sophie; she came as well, and yeah, we really enjoyed it. It was my first time in the crowd at Ali Pali as well, so for it to be the final was great, and yeah, we enjoyed it. We had a good celebration that night.
Were you on your seat whistling when Littler was going for a double? Like the rest?
Less said about that, the better. I had that
yeah, we've seen a lot of it, haven't we? Recently, yeah. Look, going to watch Luke. Was that a weird message to get from him? Hi, mate, you're not in, but do you want to come and watch me in the final?
Yeah, no, not really. It's kind of similar to this. I had to invite myself along a little bit. I think he
buy your own ticket.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he probably thought that me and Sophie probably didn't want to go, but I was like really up for going. Obviously, I think if it was the other way around, he would want to come and watch me as well. So hopefully one day, you never know.
Yeah, no. To be fair, he did say that. He said if Ryan's ever in a final, he would repay the kindness and whatever. It's just nice to see that you have got mates on the tour and stuff like that. And obviously, Luke, your table on the Pro Tour, what does that look like?
Yeah, so to be fair, Luke doesn't play many Pro Tours. So at the beginning of the season, I don't really see him.
Yeah.
Other than, the odd Euro Tour. Now I start seeing him a bit more. But most of the season, I end up sitting with Gary Anderson and all the Scottish lot and Ian White, Michael Smith, and they're actually a really good laugh, all them. Cammy as well.
No, it doesn't sound a bad table, that, to be fair.
No, we actually have a really good laugh. And to be honest, I try not to sit there too much because I end up just sitting there messing around rather than getting up and throwing darts. So when Luke's there, a lot of the time it'll be me, Luke. It used to be me, Luke, Owen Bates, and Cam Crabtree. It used to just be us four on a table, and Callum Ridds and Luke Woodhouse as well for a bit. But that's kind of split a bit now. So yeah, we have a good laugh. Me and Luke practice with Cam and Owen Bates most Pro Tours when we were all there together, and yeah, we have a good laugh.
Nice, I like that. And yeah, you can get sucked into the Gary Anderson approach to darts, just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and then
Gary,
you're gone.
Yeah, we're not all freaks like him. We can't just sit there and then stand up and hit 110 average. I like to.
We were literally saying that a minute ago, about the fact that he didn't throw a dart since a match play and just rocked up and missed double 12 for a 9 first leg.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Is he one of the most natural you've ever seen?
Yeah, definitely. I think you have to put Littler up there now as well. Obviously, it's a very small sample size, but the things that he does is crazy. But there's not many people that when you're at the Pro Tours and stuff, there's not many people that aren't on the board quite a lot throwing and getting their arm loose, and that. I think it's only really Gary. Luke Littler's like that. I think obviously I played him at the match play this year, and I was in the practice room and I was playing really well, and he walked in and he was straight on the board, and I thought, you don't normally do that. So I thought, he must be really up for it, and obviously he went on to win it. So yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you played well in that game as well.
Yeah, I played all right. Obviously, the very first session killed that game off, really. Broke me 3 times, and I don't know what I was averaging at the break, 110 or something, and 5-0 down. Yeah. And, that's just the luck of the draw sometimes.
Are you a fan of, I say, modern darts in brackets? Because obviously you've come through the system where you did the BDO side of it and so on as well, and then come across it. Are you a fan of modern darts, or do you prefer it back in the day, so to speak?
I'd say I probably just prefer the modern darts. By modern, do you mean just like the PDC and the Premier League?
Yeah, just like the calendar that's packed the way it is and so on.
I don't like the calendar. No. You've been trying to catch me on a hook here, or what? Are you trying to get?
No, it was a general thing. Because some people love to play all the time, and then some people, like you say, once a week's enough for them.
Yeah, the calendar is it's crazy, and obviously they've added more events, haven't they, for next season? Looking at it as an extra Euro Tour, and is there more Pro Tours or not?
No, same. Still 34.
Same as it. I've not really looked at it too much.
It's an extra Euro Tour.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some sticks. I've got the same opinion as Joe Cullen, and a lot of people that don't mention it is that there's too many Pro Tours abroad, and I stick with that. And people say, oh, look at the money you earn and blah blah blah, but it's not about that. We're in Europe enough for all the Euro Tours without being 5-6 lots of Pro Tours over there as well. You're abroad more than you are home, and that's probably why you don't get a lot of the Premier League lot playing in a lot of the Pro Tours over there, because they do enough travelling. It is without
we know
going to those as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know Joe likes to speak out, and then ironically he goes and wins one in Germany.
I know, yeah. Yeah, it kind of come from nowhere, didn't it? Because he's not been in the best of form recently, but he's one of them where when he's really up against it, he seems to find something. And it wasn't like he scraped through that day either. He actually played some really solid stuff all day, and he was a deserved winner.
What's that like as a sportsman where you have to miss birthdays, weddings, family affairs because you are away and whatever? Is that the hardest part of the job?
Yeah. My daughter's birthday falls on the Grand Slam a lot of the time, so I've missed her birthday a few times. I miss my dad's birthday. My son and my partner Sophie's birthday, I'm usually home, or I've been away a couple of times at the Worlds when it was COVID and she couldn't come, and then I'd lose on her birthday just to make it even better. But it's tough. I've been speaking to people about this recently, that they see you as a professional dart player and it must be all fantastic and everything like this, but they don't see all the things behind the scenes where there's a lot of pressure involved on the stage, and you're forever traveling. You're always in the airport, you're always on a train, in the car, on the motorway, and hey, look, there's plenty of worse things you can be doing. I'm not trying to put it down, but it's not as easy and as glamorous as probably what people think it is.
Well, that's it, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's not just like you're a professional dart player, you're all earning millions and you can just do what you want. Like, it's pressure every time you step up there at the end of the day, and you're playing for your livelihood, but also, like I say, when you've got a young family, you're missing out on a lot as well.
Yeah, it's not easy. And then you have people whistling in when you're trying to get doubles and stuff. It's not great, is it? So,
Just on that, there's 2 less Pro Tours in Germany this year, which will make you happy. Compared to this year, there's 2 less.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Is there more in Holland, though, isn't it?
No, they're
moved into like proper Eastern Europe, but it's harder to get to.
That would not surprise me.
On the whistling, have you ever thought about just walking off?
Nah, not really. I think it's a hard one, because if the referees address it, it just encourages more idiots to do it as well. So it's I don't know, it's hard. You see people losing games because of it, and it's not right. But I don't really know how you're gonna stop it. I can't remember what it was. It was one of the TV tournaments, and you could hear someone whistling, and then the camera all of a sudden was literally right in this woman's face as she was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, she's right there, just kick her out, just make an example of her and just get her out. You know what I mean? So I don't really
I think it's one of those, we've talked about this a lot. It's obviously difficult to police it. That situation's a little bit different. You can see clearly it's someone that's doing it. But when it's a table of 6-8 people that are all pissed up and all together, and you try and boot one of them out, it can make more trouble than it sort of solves. But it's always a difficult one to try and police. But yeah, I'm very much of the same opinion as you. Like, if you can see who's doing it, the first thing you're doing is just no warnings, you're out. Like, done.
Yeah, and it's a way worse noise than when you're playing a hometown favourite or something and you're getting booed or whatever. You can take that; it doesn't really matter. But a whistle is such an annoying noise, and when they're doing it in time, you throwing for a double and stuff, it is really off-putting, and that's something that's quite hard to block out.
We've got a bit of a running gag on here. Going back a few years, it was, has Ryan Searle qualified for the match play? It was when you were miles clear on the order of merit, but you hadn't officially gone dark green on darts rankings.
Ah, right, okay.
And it was like, is Ryan Searle dark green? And all the chat room loving this now. They're like, ask Ryan if he's qualified for Blackpool yet, and so on. The running gag of you were never going to get caught, but you hadn't gone dark green yet.
No, well,
it was a running theme for weeks.
Yeah, well, I had it a couple of years in a row where I finished one spot out. So, and that was gutting, because obviously it's 10 grand first round, and that was a lot of money. especially back then for me. And on the rankings, it makes a big difference. And luckily enough, I've been comfortable qualifying the last few years.
Do you look at darts rankings and the dark green scenarios and so on?
No, very rarely.
Fairs.
My partner's mum does. She knows down to every penny what I've earned and everything. So if I need to know, I'll just ask her.
Then.
Yeah, so she's pretty good for that. Yeah.
I
try not to look at that. I think if you're playing well enough, you don't really need to look at that, do you? So I think it's only negative. You're looking at that, you're worrying about if you're going to drop and everything. And I think that's just a negative thing. So I don't really look at it. Very rarely look at it.
The money's going up as well from the World Championships, a huge amount of money on offer now. Did you ever think that you'd be playing darts for that amount of money?
No, it's crazy, isn't it?
Mad.
It's crazy. But Barry did always say that he would get it to $1 million, didn't he? And fair play to him, he's done it. Obviously, with the help that Littler's put into it and with the popularity of the game. And the only thing with that is the other majors need to try and catch up a little bit. And whether that will happen or not, I don't know. Or they'll change the ranking system to points or something, because obviously that is too top heavy. You can't just go with obviously that number's there and it's a massive thing for everyone, but rankings wise it doesn't really work. But if I win $1 million, I ain't going to be you know what I mean? So,
Are you one that, do you like having your family come and watch you play? I know, like same with Johnny, he doesn't have it a lot because of school time and stuff like that, but when they can come in, do you much prefer it to have them there?
Yeah, I love it. I love it when they come, especially the kids. It takes away the monotony of sitting in a hotel room on your own, which you know I do most of the year. You got someone to have a laugh with and mess around, and it's just like being at home really. And also you've got someone when you're playing, you've got someone to look over at, and obviously I travel a lot on my own to Euro tours, and when you're playing well or you're not playing so well, it's sometimes nice to look over at someone, a familiar face, and a lot of the time I don't have that, so I make the most of it when they are there.
Yeah, no, Johnny's in the same boat, because I remember when he says he won't take the kids out of school, but when they are there, it just gives him something extra.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
So away from darts, how do you like relax at home? Are you one that cooks or anything like that, like some of the dart players and things like that, or is it no?
Cooking is not my thing. No, no. Me and my son play video games and stuff, and
nice.
I like to try and see my grandparents as much as I can. Go out for meals with them in the week and stuff. But other than that, no, we just chill out. When I am home, Sophie, my partner, is always on to me like, "Oh, you're home this weekend. Why don't we go off and do something?" And I'm like, "I'd rather just sit at home. I'm never home. I'd rather just stay home." You know what I mean? So she does moan at me a little bit about that, but yeah, I just like being home, to be honest, when I'm away so much.
What's your game of choice?
So it was always Call of Duty. Me and Luke Humphries used to play Call of Duty all the time. We would be up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning every night playing that. Kind of lost a bit of interest in that. But the new one is coming out in November, isn't it? So I think me and Luke will be back on it then for sure.
When you're playing with your lad, are you letting him win, or are you very much teaching him?
No, he's better than me. No, he's better than me. Yeah, he's only 11. Well, he's probably better than me when he was. So he would always play Fortnite when he was younger, and especially in lockdown, that was our thing. It was me, my partner, and him. We'd always play Fortnite together, and one of my friends. And he was quite young then. I think he was like 6 or something, and I probably beat him then. But as the years went on, he was catching me up, and I couldn't get anywhere near him. And he's just better than me now. He doesn't really play Call of Duty or anything, but when he jumps on, he's really good. I think he's just a young kid that's naturally good at
natural gift.
Yeah, he's just naturally good at video games. Yeah.
Does he play darts? Is he following in footsteps? Because we see it happen quite a lot that the sons of players pick them up and play.
Yeah, he very rarely picks the darts up. I would say to him, "Oh, you fancy a throw today?" Nah, I'm not interested. He won't even watch me when I play on TV very often. No, neither of the kids do. They're not really that interested. They do love coming along and watching when they're in the arena and watching it live. But when it comes to, they'd just rather watch. rubbish on YouTube, or you know what I mean, or playing the Xbox or something. So
yeah, it's because obviously Michael Smith lads plays, and see Ty's playing a lot now. It's funny when he took a leg off Gary in that exhibition. Gary got the right arm. He was like, right, he's not having it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
It was so Gary. I say he didn't try. He was just conservative in leg one. Ty had 52 left. He come down and went pop, and Gary was like, none of this. And
that always happens. That always happens.
Yeah. And then he went through the gears. It was funny. What are those practice sessions like between you and Gary? Because we've seen you smashing astronomical numbers. We've seen him do it. When you two are in full flow, what are they like?
When he's in full flow, he's very hard to stop. It's been no secret that he smashes me most of the time. I don't really play overly well in practice for some reason. When we play each other, sort of as the longer the night goes on, sort of better I seem to get. Whereas he's just, I'll turn up and have sort of 10, 15 minutes just to warm up, and he'll just sit there chatting away, drinking a coffee or whatever, and he can just get up and he's just flying straight away, and I'm just a bit all over the place. It normally takes me sort of an hour just to feel comfortable and confident and feel like my arm's loose, but he can just do it straight away. Early on in our sessions, I think it's probably fairly even over the year, and then all of a sudden he said he watched that House of Flying Arrows documentary. Did the PDC do that?
Yeah, that was going when him and Rachel were on it quite a bit. And
he said he watched that and he noticed his stance, and he said, I don't stand at that anymore. And he changed back to standing like how he was then. And all of a sudden he was hitting, honestly, he was hitting everything. I didn't win a session for a year, I think it was. But yeah, he's phenomenal.
That's mad.
What's crazy how such a little simple thing, but you don't even notice it yourself when you're doing it.
Yeah. And he just said, I don't stand on that anymore. And he just adjusted how he stood, and he was absolutely on fire.
What's kind of your expectations for the rest of the year?
So ideally I would get a few easier draws in some majors. Yes, obviously it's not easy playing Littler first game, and I think I drew Humphreys second game at the UK Open. I played up terrible against. I'll tell you what, me and Humphreys used to have some really good games. The last two times we've played, I've not won a leg, and I've played so bad. I don't know what it is, but I'll be looking to turn that around at some point. But yeah, just, I think I've pretty much qualified for all the majors. Obviously, the Grand Slam would probably have to go to the qualifier, unless I have in the past got in the Grand Slam off of winning a Pro Tour. Obviously, if the same faces keep winning majors and get to the finals, I might sneak in off that. If not, I'll have to go to the qualifier. So from now for the rest of the season, I just want to start actually putting a bit more effort in. Like I say, over the summer holidays, I've not really thrown a huge amount, and the first Pro Tours back the other week, I was terrible, and I just felt so rusty. First day I didn't average above 90, and then the second day I think I averaged like 94, 95, which is all right, a bit more like it. And then went to the Euro Tour and I averaged 100 in both games, and I feel like games slowly coming back.
I like that, because I remember like talking to you in the past that you look at it slightly different, where people want the glory of winning titles, and you're just like, that drive isn't the same for me as it is them. Is that still the case?
It is, yeah. I kind of wish it wasn't, because I feel like I could do a lot more damage than what I do. So that's something maybe I need to speak to a sports psychologist about and try and unlock something. But the trouble is, you don't need to be world number one and winning majors and this and that to make a good living from darts anymore. And I'm quite happy and comfortable with how that's going for me. And you've got that carrot of the million at the Worlds, don't you? So
that's a big carrot, isn't there?
I'll be trying my best.
Is that the main driver for you then, Ryan? Is it a job? It's about providing for the family and
that's more what it's about. As long as, you know what I mean, yeah, as long as I can provide for my children, give them a good life, and they never want for anything, and that's all I want from my career, really. If I can, when my son's old enough to drive, and I can just say, look, I'll buy you a car or whatever, and when they're old enough and they want a house, and I can say, I'll give you the deposit and stuff like that. It's just things that I never had when I grew up.
If you win the millions, it'll be after more than the deposit.
I know. The tax man will be like this as well. So sadly, you don't get all that, do you? But so it's just things that just to make their lives easier, basically.
I like that, and obviously I know the move to Harrows that is now a while ago, but you were tinkering with darts, weights, and whatever. Settled. We haven't seen you tinker for a while.
No, so Harry's been really good. Whenever I'm in contact with them, straight away I'm asking for things, and the next day they're on my doorstep. That's the good thing about having a real small team, and obviously me, Damon, Chizzy, and Luke Woodhouse. I think we're a good little team, and I think that was a great move for me. I've got a new set of darts coming out soon. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but it's too late. I've not really thrown them a huge amount, but I won't use them until after the Worlds anyway, which I've done sort of last year and the year before when I switched. So I'm not one of these players that needs to stick to a certain dart and a certain grip and this and that. A lot of players are really can't handle switching to anything else. But as long as they're the same weight and a similar shape, I can normally get used to them pretty well.
Well, you say about new stuff, obviously, I think a few of the Target boys have played with new stuff. They're sort of like sport at the launch. And to be fair, the Harrows boys as well, we see them a lot at the weekend throwing with the I don't know what they're going to be called, but I'll say the Harrows version of the Swiss point. You can see the little nut on the end of the point. So we saw Chizzy and Damo throwing with them and things like that. So the fans don't miss anything in terms of new equipment and things like that.
No, it's very hard to hide stuff like that, isn't it, when you use it on TV and the cameras are so close. So it's just things like that. It's just easier with, obviously, if you want to maybe put your darts in your hand luggage or anything, you can take the points out really easy, can't you? Just unscrew them and stuff. So just little things like that just makes things easier.
Is that what you're going to with the new set? So you like you say, you haven't got to worry about losing a case.
I'm not sure yet. I've not had a proper set yet to try out. So we'll see. They have made me some points which I'm using now, which I'm really happy with. They got that nice bit of grip on. But we'll see.
So before we let you go, just a couple of quick fire questions and things like that. What's your ideal holiday location?
Ideal holiday. I don't go on many holidays, I'm always in Germany or Austria or Leicester, or what I mean.
All the exotic places.
All the exotic places, yeah. I think I would like to one day take Sophie and the kids to the Maldives or something like that, just to say that I've been once, just somewhere really nice.
On a beach, cocktailing on.
Yeah, I'm not really a massive fan of it being too hot, but that's somewhere I know the kids would enjoy. I think my daughter would like to go skiing as well at some point, so I think I'd probably prefer that in the snow.
I'm with you there.
Snowboarding, try not to hurt myself. So maybe that at some point.
Have you got a set pre-match meal?
Greg sausage roll.
Absolutely.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, that always used to be the thing at the match play and the Grand Prix. So I try not to get in these like routines of having this and that, because one day if you don't get it, and I try not to
putting your socks on the same order. And
exactly. I try not to. Yeah, these superstitions. I try not to get involved in that too much. But
favorite takeaway?
Oof. Probably Chinese, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm with you there. That's
sweet and sour chicken balls, crispy shredded beef, and stuff like that.
Nice. That's good. Before we let you go, we've got Daniel in the chat room. He says, can you please tell Ryan I'm his biggest fan? So, yeah, a lot of love in the chat room for you, mate. It's good, but everyone's been great to have you on.
Thanks for that, Daniel.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on, mate. It's been great to have you on. I'll see you in Leicester for the World Grand Prix at the Matoli Arena. But everyone, the one and only Mr. Heavy Metal, Ryan Searle. Ryan, thank you very much.
If you want to come on again, Ryan, remember, you just have to ask because he won't ask it.
All right, mate. I'll invite myself on again at some point.
Christmas special, we'll get you on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Get me and Gary on.
Yeah. Right. Thank you very much, buddy.
No worries, mate. All the best.
And everyone, ladies and gentlemen, we have another surprise for you. We kept this one quiet, the one and only Mr. Jack Garwood's back.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
How are we doing?
Not so bad. It's good to see you again. It's only been about
2 days.
hours. Yeah.
How are we doing, lad? You all right?
I'm all good.
So if you nearly lost me, then I'd not plugged my laptop in.
Look, the chat room's come to light as well.
I literally saw a comment a couple of minutes before Ryan was finishing going.
Why doesn't God do it anymore?
I deliberately wasn't answering. I was like, he sat there in the background waiting to come on.
I'm here. It's not a permanent return, not yet, but it is very much a guest return this evening.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I'll come on tonight." Right, let's dive in. Let's go to the weekend. The World Series is now done for the year, and can we say it's a surprising winner from where he was?
Yeah,
I think so. I think definitely, like I say, it's a good surprise. It's good to see him back in the winner's circle, but he definitely wouldn't have been the one I was picking at the start of the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's shown glimpses. We've said this for a long, long time now. He's been able to produce a big performance, but the running joke literally 4 days ago was every time he produces a big performance, he backs it with an 89.
Yeah.
Right? That 89 just didn't appear this weekend, and he picks up a title. Major. I'm not starting that shit already.
Yeah, I was going to say, we said it.
Major.
Felt like we're saying it every week in the Premier League as well when we're doing the Fallout bar. Like he'd be winning his opening game with a decent performance, and then second game, like you say, 89, 87, just bobbins in the second game. But none of that this weekend. Just backed it up again and again. Yeah,
100%. Look, you look who he's gone through to win the title as well. That's
not an easy run.
That's some route to the title.
Even just on Sunday, when you look at it and you go, he's gone through Humphreys, Rock, and Littler. It's pretty good going before you get into sort of any of the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll come back to the second, but the chat room has come on fire. We've got we've got Wilder is back at Sheffield United and Cobb's back.
Wilder's back every other month at the moment.
The prodigal son returns.
Big word for you, Chris.
Welcome back. Then we've got.
It takes some going to use a meme within a meme, but I managed to pull it off earlier as well, by the way.
And of course, Anthony. Oh, he is back. But yeah, look, the way he's got, the people he's gone through are all people that we're talking about that we had down to win majors, and he's gone through them all. And like you said, God, that drop wasn't there. And I said last week, mechanically, the action has looked better the last 2 weeks. And I think this week is the best the action has looked just in terms of rhythm for a long, long time.
Yeah, I think rhythm is the key to it, isn't it? Because we've seen it break down so often. And what tends to happen when you are a rhythm player that has issues of breaking down is the minute you have one bad visit, especially when you've done as much work on your action as Michael has, the minute you have a bad visit, you start chasing again, you start looking for it. People like, it's more common in someone like Joe Cullen, whose action is very feel-based, right? There isn't a set point to bring it back to his eye line again, or rebuild in front of his face, or change the grip on the barrel, etc. Like, that's all feel-based. So the minute you lose that, it's incredibly difficult to go and regain that. And Michael just didn't have that. And when he did have a bad visit, that didn't take as long to find the adjustment again. And that was the key thing.
Yeah, well, the game against Humphreys, he was averaging 112 on his 10 legs. That it was ridiculous. I know Carl's in from Darts Tracker. He put the stat up on Twitter. It was mental, the game against Humphreys.
He just needs it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If you're gonna like you said, you've got to produce that level against these kind of players at the moment. Rock, Humphreys, Littler are three of the most informed players in the world right now. Rock has been sensational on the Euro Tour. Let's be honest, this is basically just a Euro Tour of a couple of thousand more people in the back of the room. Like, it was in the Netherlands with a big home crowd, which his first show back, I can't be swearing already, but you know what I'm saying.
Why not?
Right.
It took me about a minute and a half before I was in.
Yeah, like I said, Josh has been in a very, very similar environment repeatedly over the last couple of weeks and done very well in it. And then you look at the two Lukes who are just, look, they're still 1 and 2 in the world, no matter what this weekend's done. And they're going to be for a long, long time still, because what they have got over everybody else, one is the quality, but two is the consistency right now. So look, it's good to see Michael back playing to this level. Can he keep it up for the back end of the year is an interesting thing. And the other thing to note is the next time he has a home crowd behind him is April again. That's massive.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
I think he's I had a good look at the darts at the weekend as well. They are very, very, very close to Old Faithfuls in every way. That in terms of dimension, yes, the grip's a little bit different, but obviously grip changes as your hands get rougher and older and things like that. But in terms of like the nose of the dart and so on, they're almost identical to Old Faithfuls. Which
I don't think makes too much difference. Yes, players are used to that, but because his actions change so much because of that wrist injury, like chasing your old dart setup doesn't make sense to me. Like, it might just be a placebo thing in his mind and it's comfortable and that's what he's used to and that's what he links success with in his mind, perhaps. But because his action and throw has changed so much, if he's chasing the same dart, you're not going to get the same results because you're not throwing him in the same way and you won't throw him in the same way ever again. Like, he's physically not capable of recreating that action from the mid-2010s.
Yeah, I think it's more feeling comfortable, isn't it? It's something in your hand that you feel confident with, and regardless of whether your throw's changed a little bit, that can be a massive difference in terms of how he's going to perform rather than actually the equipment itself.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, look, we've spoken about it. The crowd were a factor, not just in Michael's games, but in all the games the Dutch players, the Dutchies were in. We saw it with Cordecker at the raging hump against Barney because they played up. But I'm not saying this is right by any stretch because it's clearly not. But it's just going to happen. Nothing is going to change.
You've got to prepare yourself for it at the end of the day.
I was going to say that I'm not saying this is right, but if you're playing a Dutchman in Holland or if you're playing a German in Germany, you mentally have to prepare yourself for what's coming. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But you have to prepare for that because nothing is going to change.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. Like, we'd all love it to change. We'd love it not to be the case. We don't want to see the crowd being a factor in who wins it, but fortunately it is. And like you say, you prepare for the worst case rather than the best case. That's got to be the way that you go about it.
Yeah, completely. Look, overall, the crowd were decent, apart from when the Dutchies were needing the 12th man. But overall, the atmosphere was good. The atmosphere was electric. I'll say you've been there, Cam, as well. It's a great arena for darts.
Honestly, it's great fun. It's a really good arena. It's a good setup, and yeah, it's a good crowd. Like, I really enjoyed it. It's one of those that unfortunately, the last couple of years, it's fallen on the same weekend as T20 Finals Day, so I haven't been able to go back since. But next year, when Finals Day is back in the middle of July, I'm first thing on my list of to-dos, other than booking somewhere for the anniversary, which I think we've got to get in there. But other than that, the first thing I'm doing is booking a little trip to Amsterdam in September.
Will is in. How we doing, buddy? You can tell you in as always. Joel, how we doing? Look, the World Series Finals, it's no one's favourite tournament. I do like the change they're making to next year's in terms of they're having an extra session on the Thursday night, so players don't have to play twice on the Saturday. Which I think is a positive change for it. Look, people are going to say just scrap it. That's not going to happen. It's part of the calendar. We just have to accept that. But I like they're making a positive change to the scheduling of the games.
It is, but it's an extra night away for everyone. In terms of the players have got to travel for an extra day and get in there on the Wednesday if they want, depending on flight times and when they can get there. I mean, Amsterdam's pretty easy to get to. It's not a tricky one, but if you want to have a full day of preparing on the Thursday before you play, you're going to have to go Wednesday evening or whenever. It does add extra cost regardless of sort of whether they gives them an easier day on the Saturday.
Yeah, no, I agreed on that front. But yeah, the tournament itself, I thought was decent. I think the players that we've mentioned, it sets up the back end of the year. And the one we haven't spoken about, again, who I still can't believe he mismatched darts, the form he's in, was James Wade. But again, another fabulous performance from the machine. And again, dangerous at the moment.
It's time of year as well, isn't it? Like that stat appeared the other day of his running average for the last few years, and he's just so blindingly consistent. And we're sat here praising him at how well he's playing. Everyone's going, well, actually, that's the average that he's run at as a average for the last 10, 12 seasons. So we're like, hang on, when James Wade's bad, he's actually really good. And when James Wade's good, he's actually still really, really good. Like he just has this knack, doesn't he, of never dropping too far. Some results might go his way, but performance-wise, he doesn't seem to change that much. And he is going to be a huge threat back end of this year. He loves a cheeky little ITV tournament dotted in there somewhere. Ranking-wise, he's climbing, and you never know what will happen.
You back on here. That's what's happened. As soon as he starts performing at this level consistently again, Jack Garwood turns back up on a Monday night.
Something like that.
Well, we've got a couple of clips to play from the World Series. There was a couple of good bits said. First of all, let's obviously play Michael's because, again, he's back in the winner's circle and Michael was Michael.
A little bit too long for a player like me, but you always need to look yourself in the mirror. And when things aren't great, you have to tell yourself. But when things are good, like this weekend, I can really enjoy them. And that's, I think, also really important.
I'm guessing as well you're not going to have to wait another 2 years for a TV title. Is that never going to happen again?
That's not going to happen again. I think I quit darts before that.
Just put everyone else on notice that MVG's back.
I've never been away.
That little wink at the end.
He has been away. And
that was my first thought as well.
This very much might be papering over some cracks, but for now, we're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Mind you, could Vincent be the best coach in darts if this carries on? Is he on Fergie for the hairdryer? Don't care about being technical. You're getting the hairdryer treatment.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time he's had to give him a C&C, to be fair, would it? From past noise.
And we're going to play one from Luke Humphreys, and I think you'll like this one because there's been a lot said about the top players taking it for granted and so on. But this is why Luke is one of the best ambassadors the sport will ever have.
Oh yeah, I will play in all of them. If I win one, I probably still play in all of them. To be honest, it's a situation that I find myself in that not one that I'm regretting. If I didn't make it, I feel like I should, but if I didn't make it, I wouldn't be regretting anything or disappointed. I had to take time off what I have. I've had to spend more time with my family, and if it becomes the scenario of missing out on the Play Championships, of course I'll be gutted, but it won't be the end of the world for me, to be honest. But of course I want to be in that tournament because I want to be in every major tournament. So for me, I'll be playing in all of them. And you know, it's up to me to go and try and earn my spot, because you have to earn your spot in that. And look, in the week I was kind of unfortunate. I had a couple of really good performances against you, but it's definitely to say that won't happen another 7 times. To be honest, so I'm under no illusion that it's not guaranteed. But yeah, I think when you're in that Premier League, you know, you see me, Michael, Luke, and Nathan, and people like that. We're all under the cost because of the fact that you just can't play in everything. And unfortunately, you know, it is that way. But yeah, I think 7 more tournaments left. In my own mind, I feel like I should qualify, but if I don't, then unfortunately I won't be there.
I like that from Luke.
It's a very realistic output, isn't it? Like, a player of his quality can and could possibly rock up to a Pro Tour and win 2 or 3 of them and be very, very comfortable. It is a situation of very much the PDC's making, I think, rather than the players. It's physically impossible to play in every single event on the calendar to the extent that the top couple of players are being asked to. And who knows, long term, this may even be the catalyst to change. Because if players are going to miss out on the Players' Championship Finals, which is Pro Tours only, yes, it is only one event, but that might be the one that prompts them to go, actually, this isn't right.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, does it, having your number 1, 2, and 3 in the world potentially not being there?
Yeah. Because they're trying so hard to shoehorn them in everywhere else when they were already in 95% of places already. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Johnny, who are you talking about? Which player? And we'll tell you. I agree.
I think he's on about MVG. To be fair.
Match play 23. Was it 23, 22 or 20? The match play was his last one, I think, in terms of TV ranking title. 22 or 23. Yeah, I agree, but let's be fair. This isn't just darts, by the way. This is all sport. You never see them. You never see any organisation taking anything off the calendar. Once they've added it, you don't go back.
Yeah, and it tends to stay, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, you never take stuff off the calendar. You're always adding to it.
Yeah, what I think is they'll find a way to make sure that the people that they want in it are in it, rather than taking things away.
I think I've said this for a while. It might not be this year, it might not be next year, but I think it will get to a point where the top 16, whenever the cutoff is for that tournament, the top 16 will be guaranteed in every ranking event.
Yeah.
But that's not possible in the Players' Championship Finals because that's Pro Tour ranking only.
You change the rules. You change the qualifying.
That's not what the Players' Championship Finals are. They're a culmination of the Players' Championship Tour. You can't have players qualifying for that without playing in the Players' Championship. It's the same way that having a qualifier for the World Series for players that have never played in the World Series is fucking nonsense.
But you also know that this is the PDC, and what they want, they do.
Yeah. As we say, they're a promotional company, and the promotional company will want their best assets in tournaments.
Then they need to change the name of the tournament because it's not the Players' Championship Finals if they're not qualifying through the Players' Championships.
Well, exactly. But
48 of them will.
Nonsense.
Yeah. even it'll just be as much as 60 of them will, and the 4 that they want in there will just get a spot.
Yeah, I think it will come to the point where the top 16 will be guaranteed in the ranking events. I can just see it coming. I say whether that's here or 3 years down the line or whether, but we've touched on it already. The calendar is out for 2026. What was your boys' take on the calendar itself?
Lots of dates.
Yeah.
It was okay. Pro Tours moving around is interesting. Like I said, that balance has changed. I'm more concerned about the knock-on effects. To lose Exeter is absolutely gutting. As an experience, it's class. Does it provide the best commercial package to the PDC? No. Have they added journey time to that? Is that Premier League night in Cardiff now going to be terrible? Probably, because none of the players are going to want to be there and have got an extra hour to drive. It's more intriguing what happens with the World Series and the Euro Tour now. Now that we've dropped down the number of German events, I want to know if they're going to rotate the German events or if the ones that have stayed are the ones that are here to stay and that's it. The other areas have lost those ones. Poland's a big one because it was already a World Series event. So does that mean the World Series is now a testing ground for the Euro Tour? Do they both stay? Is there still some sort of Eastern European World Series, or do they move into another Baltic one, or that sort of thing? So that's the interesting one there. And then just the absence of the World Series calendar, full stop. I know they're still working on that, obviously. We've been banging on about a second North American one for a number of years. Asia, I think, is never going to be more ripe to try again. Yes, Japan wasn't the right culture for it, but somewhere like the Philippines, certainly with the hotbed of darts that it's providing right now, definitely needs a shot. So yeah, as much as the World Series is a bit meh, I do think that's where the most intrigue lies in the calendar, because that's where you can go and test these new markets and stuff, especially for darts fans, should we say. And then one other thing to notice was there was no venue on the showpiece at the end of the year.
Yeah, that was a little one that they just
a little admission.
Well, for those that have listened to the format Porter interview, we do discuss that, and it's going to stay in London. That's moving it from London is not an option. I think just chatting to him, and from the chat, I think they are desperately trying to find a solution at Alexandra Palace. I think that is the priority. Can they get that Great Hall fit for human use? So half of it's not roped off like it is at the moment, where it's leaking and so on. I think
that's going to be too much work and too much cost, essentially, to get that done in time for next year. But
I'm not an architect or anything like that, so I don't know the issues and so on. But I think that is the priority because of the iconicness of Alexandra Palace. And Matt said that himself, that the history that goes with it. I think that is the priority. But either way, I think if you are going to Alexandra Palace this year, enjoy it, because I think this is the last final and time we will see in the West Hall, or the West Wing, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I can't see them taking it in that room again because it's not big enough, and it doesn't do what they want. It doesn't do the corporate side of things either. That's the bigger problem, I think, which is why they're going to be looking to move it away. You need to be able to offer these corporate packages that are not just a table on the other side of the walk-on. That needs to be people having their own suites, having their own area that they can just stay in and watch the darts from.
Yeah, like the boxes at football and so on.
Yeah, exactly that. And which is why I think somewhere like the Copper Box or somewhere like that is going to be a better venue for it in time going forwards.
The XL.
That one.
The XL doesn't have that either, though. It's just a big hall.
Yeah, that's
they can set up how they want, though, because they've got the chance to the Masters snooker doesn't fill the West Hall at Ali Pali, but what they do is put the studio in the middle of the room, black out all behind it, and then there's practice tables the other side of it. If you go and watch live, you can hear the players practicing behind.
But you can't put in VIP boxes. You can't put in that corporate hospitality, which is the problem. I've been to boxing at the XL. It's great for it, but if you wanted that corporate thing that you can get at the MEN or other places where you've got them all the way around the middle of the arena and it's purposely built for it, you aren't going to get that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an interesting scenario, but I certainly think the West Hall that has served us for so long, this will be the last one there.
Yeah, and I think obviously it's an iconic venue, isn't it? But it only takes a year or two and a couple of decent finals at a new venue, and that becomes the iconic venue. Then the same thing happened when it moved from the Tavern and everything else. Like, it doesn't take long for that to change. People's minds are very much, especially these days, people's minds are very recency biased all the time, and I don't think that that's a reason to keep it somewhere.
Rob says about Wembley Arena. Wembley Arena wouldn't work. The floor would work, but they haven't got the capabilities to do a massive fan village, all the media requirements and so on, because it's so rigidly built.
Yeah, again, it's an old arena, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an old arena.
Look, around the outside as well. You're just not going to feel that every night. Like,
no.
Yeah.
The silly thing is, like, in 10 years, if demand keeps going up and up and up, it genuinely might be the case. But to jump from 2,500, 3,000 a night to 10 to 15,000 a night isn't going to happen. The demand isn't that great.
One thing the PDC do exceptionally well is they read data and make changes according to data better than anyone. And they know, they're not stupid. They can't go from 375 to 14,000. It has to go 375.
Otherwise, they just take it straight
to
to
5.5, 6, 6.5, 10, and so on. That progression, and that they read better than anyone else.
They want somewhere now that's about 5,000 realistically. That's where
between 5 and 6,000 would be perfect.
The reason I said the XL over anything else is they can then just rejig it in the future. So you can set that up for 5,000, have a fans village, but you can also set that up for 10,000 in 10 years' time.
Or
and you don't have to worry about losing
finals and final in the new year.
You don't have to worry about losing the prestige of the venue, etc., and that sort of thing. So transport-wise, is fantastic now.
It is now that they've done the new underground line. Like, it used to be a pain in the ass, but
yeah, I stayed there recently. There's a boat hotel there that myself and Katie stayed on when we did a night at London Zoo, and transport links are decent. There's like 4 or 5 other hotels there. There's a couple of like little docks, like abandoned docks now. Well, not abandoned docks, but there's a few like bars and stuff around that as well. They could definitely like pop up shop a couple of those. There's 1 or 2 that are vacant right now. So yeah, there's room and the ability to do an awful lot there.
Going back to the World Series, obviously in the interview with Matt as well, that it looks like the Dutch Darts Masters is dead because of sponsorship restrictions now, which I think he said we're going to get.
Anyway, it's the Benelux, so they can sneak Dimmy in and then not bother with Mike Dedeker, which is fucking stupid.
No, Dedeker was offered it, but he was on holiday.
He's always on holiday. He's on holiday every time that he could be.
About the year before as well, when when he was higher ranked than 5 of the Dutch players that got picked.
Matt says it's looking like we'll get, the way he said at least 1 new country suggests to me I think we might get a couple.
I'm hoping that means Canada. Anthony, you've gone very quiet in the chat room. I saw another good friend of all of ours, Mr. Cetera, was in Amsterdam this weekend.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think with Holland going, there is a gap. I think we might get somewhere else in the Middle East that way, because you can go Bahrain to somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Is there a chance we see 3 next year?
Possibly.
There's room on the calendar for 1 new one, isn't there? Like, realistically, if you time it right or put it in right. So if you do New York to Canada, you've got 2 in a week there. Like, you've got Down Under, etc. So you can tack them on and push a Euro tour around and that sort of thing.
Bahrain, Saudi.
Annoys me a bit, but yeah.
Bahrain, Dubai, Bahrain, Qatar. There's a lot in that.
I'd like it not to be a Gulf state. I'd like it to be one of the pure dart playing countries. Obviously, we know they don't make decisions based on that.
Like Armenia or like
Philippines would be massive.
Yeah.
Dare I say South Africa?
South Africa would be good, but it's a long trip from anywhere.
Yeah. And then obviously where I was going is we've lost, or presuming Poland won't be a World Series now.
I don't know. I think they might, because you think the Poland Euro Tour is it's the first one. It's in February. February to July.
Thingy was early, wasn't it, this year? Or have I made that up?
What was early? No, Poland was July.
Was that?
Poland was after New York this year.
How much I've paid
Yeah,
attention.
it's obviously mid-Feb now, isn't it? So
Yeah, so there's enough to have it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Series calendar coming out to see where we go next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Andover Darts Masters would be quite nice this in July.
Grow up.
they bring one to Altrincham. That'd be nice.
No one likes Andover. Even you can't like Andover, and you live there, and you never lived there.
Home is home.
The ice arena in Altrincham, that'd be a cracking venue for it. We've had, I mean, Matchroom have already been here. They brought Pat Brown here for his debut, so that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that we'll see. Obviously, whilst we're talking about like rumor mill and so on, there was a lot made about the ITV that Jackie kept dropping it in every 5 minutes. That obviously this was their last run. Matt says it in the interview as well that by the end of the month we're expecting the announcement of the new TV deal. It's staying on free to air. He said that. My gut is it stays on ITV, just Matchroom produced.
Yeah, that's what they're pushing for anyway, and then it works with a global feed and
probably
a number of events standalone, but they also are big people that push the World Series of events, and they're already on PDC TV elsewhere, so it makes sense to not double up that workload, use the same lot and broadcast it simultaneously how they do it. So it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's got to be there more. Maybe five are pushing sport.
Yeah, but the good bit is it's staying on free to air, so you're still going to get your stuff, your tournaments. That for those that don't have Sky, it's still going to be there, which is good.
Yeah, and as good as ITV has been for a number of years, their coverage does feel like it's lagging behind a little bit now. Yes, they've updated their graphics in the last couple of years, but I don't think that's freshened up the broadcast enough.
No, it's felt tired a little bit the last couple of years.
Yeah, and what everybody does and what everybody has done on ITV for a number of years has been great in their own right. But when you look at the level of broadcast on the Euro Tour, for instance, when PDC TV actually works, and some of the other World Series, and then what Sky are doing, and if you go and watch other broadcasts, like there's just a little bit more tempo, a bit more pace, a little bit more energy, and a bit more that's going into that broadcast at the moment. So I don't think a freshen up would be a bad thing for ITV or for darts at the moment, especially in the era that it's in right now. It just needs to be that little bit more gripping because it's the free-to-air one that can push people to go and watch more darts and take up more darts, and everybody can see. It just needs that little bit more sparkle and pizzazz, shall we say, and showmanship. Like, sport is entertainment at its purest form, and it just feels a little bit workmanlike.
Carl, how dare you? I love the World Series. No, I agree, and look, I'm never going to bash anyone that works in the industry, because that no one tries to be bad at their job, but there are parts of that broadcast that have seen better days. When you've got a player on 181 and the commentator goes, he could do with a max here, and so on. It's just not a good look.
Yeah,
is the thing. And you look at, since Webby has been a great addition permanently to the ITV team, but if you take Mason Webby out of that, it's tough because we're comparing it to Wayne, Dan, Webby, Part.
Well, the fact ITV have access to Dan Dawson, who is widely regarded as one of the most knowledgeable pundits in the sport and is versatile in what he does. He can anchor a session. He's even emceed the walk-ons at Ali Pali when Johnny Mack was short one day. He can go and be your roaming interviewer. He can go and do stage 2 as your host or whatever, and he can go and commentate on all of them. The fact that they keep deciding on personnel that aren't Dan Dawson is a little bit staggering to me.
Yeah,
And that's not to blow smoke up the man's ass, but like I said, because he is so versatile at what he does, decision making when you've got people that can only do one skill doesn't make sense to not have him on site and do what he can do.
Yeah, exactly that. It just doesn't make sense to not have him there when you can use him however you might need to use him on any given day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. How are we doing? Weekly Darts Cast. I'm guessing it's Lau. Hope you are good. So yeah, that's the news that say Matt says the end of the month we should get the announcement, which will be good. One thing that we did notice about equipment being used at the World Series Darts Finals, the Harrows boys playing with, I'll say, their version of the Swiss Point, because we don't know what it's going to be called yet. But Chizzy and Heta certainly used them. Zoomed in, I think they're a little bit close to something they shouldn't be.
It wouldn't be the first time we've had copyright infringements in darts, would it?
Yeah.
There's a certain piece of equipment that I still own that is on my dartboard set up again right now that exists, that stopped existing and being available to the public very soon after I managed to get my hands on one anyway. And suddenly the design was changed and they came up with a completely different reason as to why that design was changed. Very creative marketing, fair play.
Of course, yeah, you're never going to. You can't tell the truth.
Yeah, you might accidentally knock the light ring. That's never been an issue to anybody else, but we're not allowed a 4-arm 360 design light ring anymore, so we're going to come up with this instead.
I've got it behind me, to be fair. The 270 version.
You'd like to think that they've done due diligence. Like, interchangeable points aren't the bit that's copyrighted by Target. It is the locking pin. So it depends how close they've got to that, doesn't it?
So I'm not going to name my source, but I messaged someone that is extremely knowledgeable in making darts equipment. Sent him the picture. I got the laughy face back, and all I've got is, I think they're in trouble. So
yeah,
I suppose the question is if they sell it or not, or if they've just made it for their players to use. That's the difference. But it's that hexagonal locking pin that is the bit that's got the pattern on it. It's not the point or the screwing bit. It's the locking part of it that locks it shut.
Yeah, if it's exactly the same size, and it will work with the same key, then they're going to have to change it, aren't they? But
yeah,
I just don't like the whole interchangeable points bollocks. Like, it's the same with all-in-one flight setups. Like, it's become a gimmick now that everyone's going for it. Like, everyone's using ridiculously long points when it doesn't actually make any difference to the throw, or if anything, makes it slightly worse. But they've decided it's better because it looks a little bit better.
To be fair, I'm a massive fan of the Swiss Point. I'm a massive fan of it, to the point where I've had my other manufacturer darts converted.
I've looked into it. Like, it does just make that. Obviously, I've been throwing with they're not even other manufacturers. I've been throwing with Adrian Lewis Gen 2s of late, and they're just an old barrel, so they don't have the technology built in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing that they might get around it with is, are they doing this? Obviously, at the moment, even if they are close right now, if they're just for player use and not for
sales use, they might
commercial sale, then it might be okay. If it's just a thing for their players to be able to take darts in and out, and they're producing that, then that's a little bit different, isn't it? If they need to adjust it, the minute they put them on sale, is when they'd be in a breach of that. So yeah. Like, I can go and copy. For instance, I can go and draw a Pikachu. Nintendo and the folks around Pokemon are notoriously quite shit hot on marketing rights. As long as I'm not selling that for personal gain, I can use the Pikachu image in personal use no matter what I want. Yeah. I can put stickers on my phone and all sorts. I can make it a background, I can edit it and whatever. The minute I'm using it as a tool to earn money, that's when they have an issue.
Yeah. So, but it was just interesting that both Chizzy and Damon Heta both.
I mean, you got to think if they are using it, the whole reason is that they're planning on selling it. Like, they're not. None of them are putting anything on any of the darts players, like, without wanting to then go and make money out of it. That's why they all use the equipment that they do and why they pay them to be on their staff.
Yeah, 100%. But look, other manufacturers that you'd be amazed if they weren't working on their own version that doesn't break the pattern on it. But like I say, just at first glance, these like not sure on them. So yeah, that was interesting on that. Jason said, "Hello lads, I love my PDC TV, but I wish they would make in that for TV." So yeah, if you listen to the interview, Jason, that we put out with Matt Porter today, there is a massive rebrand and relaunch coming for PDC TV towards the back end of the year, beginning of next year. There is a massive overhaul and rebrand coming, buddy.
I feel like they've updated the app twice in the last couple of years, and so far they've taken it backwards. Like, the built-in media player is gone. It's very terrible on the iPad. Like, it's just not as good as it used to be.
But like I say, the main thing it needs, if you want to use it properly, is it needs to have a TV app or an app that goes through your Sky system or whatever it is. It needs to have one that is accessible for everyone, so because people want to watch these things on the telly. They don't want to watch it on the iPad or on the phone.
Yeah, look, the way people digest content, it has to be available on all forms now, because older people want it on a TV, younger people want it on a phone. So you have to be across all those platforms to watch it. Is the thing. Yeah,
you've got to make it as available as possible, because that's the way. You want more people on it and you want more people to pay for it. You make it as accessible as you can so that everyone will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. And it sounds like there are some big things coming from the PDC in terms of rebrands and branding stuff and so on. The interview with Matt was actually really, really good, really, really insightful. I thought it was really, really good. And whilst we're talking on the calendar, we'll play this and then we'll come back.
It's never an easy decision to drop a venue from the Premier League, particularly with Exeter, I have to say, because there's nothing in that part of the country. Now, in all honesty, there aren't many venues in that part of the country, so it's not as if we're leaving a load of places unused. But you do have to make difficult decisions sometimes. This is a commercial decision. The growth of darts in Belgium over the last few years has been explosive. I think Belgium deserves a Premier League night. I think the AFAS Dome in Antwerp will be a wonderful venue for it. It's hard luck on Exeter. It's one of the smaller venues. It always generates a great atmosphere, but we just had to make a decision that on this occasion it wouldn't make the cut. That's not to say it won't do in the future, but not at the moment.
I think it's fair enough. I think I'm not by no means against going to Antwerp. I think that's a really good move to bring it into the calendar. Like you say, it probably gives us a clue as to who might make the lineup as well. The fact that they are taking it there, but I think it is sad to see Exeter go, because it is a great little venue.
Yeah, look.
Logistically, it just made sense as well, didn't it? The big talk has been waiting for this arena in Bristol that seems even further away than the Civic ever going back to being a thing in Wolverhampton. To lose that narrows down Cardiff as well. They're going to have to get in there early, because that is quite an important arena and used a lot for music concerts and that's not that all of them aren't, but do you know what I mean? Like, Cardiff is one of the largest cities. It's tough to nail down that weekend every year. Plus, you've then got to work with them as well as Minehead and Butlins to make sure that that's doable. I feel like the West Point just had a little bit more flexibility in their calendar. If the PDC come knocking, they're more than prepared to turn around to whatever artist is playing down there, because they've decided to go down and go, do you fancy moving it to another night? Yeah, all right, sound.
Well, that's it. If it obviously
going to happen in Cardiff, no.
Well, that's it. The move of the UK Open to the first weekend in March anyway. Like, if you'd already booked it in with Exeter and they're going, actually, you know what, we need to move it to next week, they'd have moved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one. Everyone knows I don't like Exeter, but it wouldn't have been the one that I'd have moved personally. I think Birmingham is shit, but you're never going to lose the second city. I get that. For me, Sheffield.
the order is terrible. Those final two, when there's genuinely a chance it's all done, because that is possible, and then like you've put them in the two cities with no atmosphere.
Birmingham
They're
and
already shit nights, and you've gone, all right, you can have some shit darts for it as well, because the players are there most of the time. Like, it hasn't really gone down the stretch for the last couple of years, and when it has, it's one game out of 14 in the penultimate two nights that means something, and that's between 4th and 5th. And you've gone, do you know what? We'll put them in Birmingham and Sheffield, where the atmosphere is fucking dead.
Yeah, like I say, it's probably somewhere like I say, you're not going to move Birmingham realistically, but if you gave me a choice of where I wanted to go, I'd be going to Exeter.
It's just me personally. I would have had a night off the Premier League before the Thursday before the UK Open. I'd have done the calendar.
That's another option.
That was the break. So all focus is on the UK Open, not I can get to Exeter a good time if I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, and it just lets everyone get to Minehead on the Thursday, be prepared properly and ready to go on the Friday, and no worries at all. That is another option. That's probably the option I'd go with. I think, is it logistically going to cause you any issues if you move it back a week? I don't think so. Like, if finals night falls on the sort of whatever it is, the 5th of June rather than the 28th of May, I don't think that's going to cause you any problems calendar-wise if you just had a week off.
Warren, they'll never play it on a Wednesday because they won't want to clash with Champions League football.
Yeah, you can play it on a Thursday when it's
Thursday clashing with Europas.
It's just shit teams playing pointless football. You can play it then, but
yeah, they'll never clash it with the Premier League, buddy, and Champions League. So yeah, look, back to the calendar. There's not too much surprise, like we say. We knew Antwerp was coming in. We've got the Exeter acts for commercial reasons, but again, I don't mind that in terms of them just going, yep, it's
somewhere had to go at the end of the day. That's the thing. If you want to bring in a new venue, if you want to take it to a new country, then
correct,
somewhere's got to go. And unfortunately, Exeter's the one that's missed out this time. But like I say, it might, from what he said, it might end up on a sort of a little bit of a rotation, a bit like we've got in F1 at the moment, where places have got a Grand Prix 1 year and then miss a year and then back on. Like, that might be what we go to when we see something else sort of miss. James Malik has just noticed that I was dissing the Europa League, trying to get a bite from you, Phil, but you didn't go for it. You let it go.
Right, we're Champions League now.
Oh no, yeah, that's it. Forgotten about last year. Now it's all done.
Also, Poland and Slovakia on the Euro Tour. Poland wasn't a surprise because of the success of the World Series events there and the talent they're producing. But Slovakia, as weekly darts scores, that was left field. I didn't see that one coming.
No, I can't say I saw it coming. Like I say, I jokingly mentioned like Armenia and Georgia earlier when we were talking about places to take the World Series, but like, yeah, Slovakia would have been one I'd probably have chucked on that list of having a bit of a joke of a venue that we might take it there rather than it actually being the next one off the.
No, let's have a. Slovakia TV broadcasters. See who's got some cash. That's the only reason, surely. RTV are there.
Yeah, it will have something to do with it.
Yeah. RTVS, Radio Television Slovakia. 24 was definitely not 24 TV. Crap.
Have we got DAZN in Slovakia?
I would imagine so.
RTVS is their public broadcast. I don't know if it's got on that or not.
It is pretty easy to get to. That's what it has got going for it.
I think most of Europe's easy to get to.
Well,
if you pick the right city,
to get to, as long
if you
as
pick the right city, you can fly there from nearly every other major European country.
To be fair, that again, you say that. I didn't realise until the other day the European Championships in Dortmund, there is now no direct flights from the UK to Dortmund.
Nailed it.
To be fair, that there always has been, but Ryanair cancelled their route from Dortmund to Stansted. So now there is no direct flights from the UK to Dortmund.
But it doesn't really matter in Germany because the trains
are, I agree, the trains are
that good. That as
very,
long as
very
you get,
good.
like, if you fly, and to be fair, like if you fly into Dusseldorf, it's not
Dusseldorf,
that
yeah,
far.
it's an hour on the train.
Yeah.
It's not
So-
it's not the end of the world.
Germany is one of those places that you can get anywhere pretty easily, like even if you're not flying
Yeah.
directly there.
Oh yeah, it was just an interesting one. There was no direct flights
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's a good one for a headline if you want to kick up a fuss about something.
And let's be fair, there are some players. Would you trust them on their own to get from Dusseldorf to Dortmund?
I don't trust them to get from their front door to a hotel to an airport.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. I don't trust them to be
And
able
the
to
thing
get out
is,
the front door.
I've met some of their chaperones, and they're not much fucking better.
Oh,
Grown men,
I think
people
I
baby
think most of them probably had the issue that I had at mine head when I had one too many beverages and I couldn't find my way around to where we were staying, and I had to get you to come and rescue me.
Dan's still got your location on his
Yeah,
phone
still got
2.5
my
years
location.
later because Cam couldn't be trusted around fucking.
Look, it all looks the same. Like every apartment block looks the same at mine head, and I couldn't see.
We've just ruined Monday night in the Littler household.
Told you it'd be good for a headline. That no direct flights to Dortmund.
Oh. Mind you, Anthony, we see that Luke has been entered into a Euro tour in Germany. Was that a mistake and he just hasn't pulled out yet?
Not in.
He did say he wasn't going again.
Yes, the Matchroom documentary. I think it's this week. It's out
17th,
on
which
17th.
is Wednesday. Yeah, I got a notification on my phone earlier.
It does look
Netflix.
really good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean, bear in mind that it's obviously it's Eddie and Barry. They're going to make themselves look very good.
100%.
They are. Vanity runs quite strongly in the Hearn family, but yeah, it will be a good one.
Well, interesting. And this hasn't come from darts. This has come from a boxing interview, but it was interesting. Where obviously everyone knows that they sold a percentage of Matchroom last year, I think it was.
Yeah.
And interesting that Eddie was on about they might sell another percentage as well in a boxing interview last week.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for them to do so when it is in a position where it is right now, where it's worth as much as it is. And look, Barry's obviously getting on. I don't think Eddie wants to do it forever. Like, he obviously loves it and he puts his heart and soul into it, but if you can just...
No, Eddie hates the darts. He just likes the fact that Ernst.
Not the darts, I just mean...
He's a TikTok star these days.
That's what I mean. I mean the sport in general. I don't think he wants to be in meetings and trying to set fights up and spending all week, every week working on things. If he can just sell it, sit there, do what Barry does with the PDC, essentially. Just put his 2 pence in when he wants to, and the rest of the time just be sort of the face that brought it to where it is.
Well, I don't know what I should say here. It would not surprise me to see lots of different investment and sales within the sport in the next couple of years. The sport's never been a better place commercially. The audience is massive. Just to cheer him back up again, Luke's got God knows how many different lines and ranges from Target. They employ someone to manage a partnership with a toy store, for fuck's sake.
There's also Target got a little pop-up shop coming up in Manchester.
That was unthinkable. I had this conversation on social media a couple of weeks ago that actually led to me launching one the other day. But I was like, a couple of years ago, I'd have been able to sit there and tell you where every single dart shop in this country was. If they did try before they buy, I probably could have told you the name of the people running it and their postcode and God knows else what. Now, there's a new shop opening every other week.
Yeah. But you look at that Target shop that there is now, it's prime centre of spinning fields. Like,
Yeah.
expensive place to put it, and it's taking over the pop-up shop that was the Oasis shop.
Yeah.
That shows you how big darts is right now.
Yeah. Well, we've seen that as well. There's been investment into Winmore or Nordor as a whole recently, and we're seeing it more and more. Look, darts is massive, and darts just isn't this little sport that it was, where it was mainly UK based with a little bit of.
It's no longer a pub sport, is it? Like it's gone away from being a pub sport.
International sport now.
Yeah. Even local league stuff, like all your ADCs and everything like that now, that people are playing rather than just playing in your local pub league. Like, it is ridiculous how big it's got on the setups that they are, and it's all iPads for scoring on every single board and all that sort of thing. Like, we aren't writing with chalk anymore or putting it just in the electronic scoreboard. Like,
or getting some flights and stems off this card behind the bar in the pub for 50p a go. Like, that's just not a thing anymore, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they were great back in the day, weren't they?
I'll tell you what, the other thing, what it's going to do is going to absolutely kill the old football card that you get passed around. They'll be gone as well.
Yeah,
hard enough anyway, because no one ever has any change. Like,
the one worry is at some point the market will just collapse. Like, there's only so long you can keep attracting new players into the sport, and only so long you can keep selling them new darts, because you see how many second-hand darts have been available for the last number of years through Facebook groups and selling pages and all that sort of stuff. Like, at some point, that will just become too saturated. I'm a player who doesn't advocate changing a dart very often, yet I own 20 sets of darts. I'm going to say pair then, I nearly shot myself. Through various reasons. I've doubled up a couple of sets because I was comfortable that they were the ones I've got. I've got 3 sets of the Adrian Lewis Gen 2s. I've got 2 sets of the Hemas that I'm throwing again, and they're the ones. 2 sets of Gary Andersons. I started collecting a couple. Like, at some point, people are going to have too many darts.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing as well is, how long before the bigger manufacturers buy out the littler ones as well? Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. It just depends what they have, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, the only reason you'd buy a smaller manufacturer, I think, at the moment, is if they own a design that is particularly well selling. Yeah. That's what you'd go after. You either go after their designers because they're doing something revolutionary within the market, which, let's be honest, there's only so many ways you can mill and cut into a piece of tungsten, which is fucking expensive right now and only going up in one direction, by the way. China's not very good with tungsten right now at all, so that's going to fly up in price as well, by the way, people. If you've got your eye on a set of darts, go and get them now before the price flies up. Or if they come up with something revolutionary technologically wise and they've got the patent to it and you can bring that within your brand. And most manufacturers at the minute seem content enough to just compete with doing something close or their own version.
Yeah. Max, I hope I'd say, great to have you back, mate. And that is very, very sad, but I'm glad you are made a full recovery, mate. It's great to have you back in, buddy. From us all at the team, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a rough one, but
yeah,
glad to.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to see where we go with just everything in darts. Is the thing. Look, every year people look forward to, or not every year, but however long it is, we get a new dartboard from whether that be Winmore or Target. But again, how much more can you do with the dartboard? How much smaller can you make the spider and so on?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? And
what else can you do to an already good board type? Don't get me wrong, I'm asking this because I don't know.
Yeah, you get all the. I suppose you can accessorize it a little bit more, can't you? You can
customize it a little bit, and
you can have different like number rings and that sort of thing, and do different colors. Obviously, they've already done it with the I can't remember the name of it now, but with the black wires rather than the
the unicorn one went with black spider.
Yeah, like
Well,
there's all
that
little
isn't-
bits you can do and bring in, but the problem is, and I think this just going back to what you said before, Gob, like the cost of darts has gone ridiculous already. Like it's supposed to be a working man's game, a game we want all the kids getting involved and whatever, and you're charging 160 quid for a set of Littler's darts that he doesn't even use the same ones, and there becomes a point where it gets too much, and you'll start turning people away from it because it's not affordable for your normal working class people who want to go down to the pub and play a game of darts with the lad or whatever.
I still think there's enough out there that some people are settled on sets of darts, don't have to change, can go and still spend 80p on a set of flights and 60p on
No, but like new people.
That is still a
like,
thing. Yeah, it's more newbies to the game that are suddenly under the belief that when you walk in to play darts, you have to go and spend £80 on a new board, £60 on a light. You need a Scolia or whatever else. Not to call Scolia out, but you know what I mean? Like, because
it's even the darts themselves. Like every kid that has been brought into darts by the Littler effect and the way that it's boomed, they all want to use his equipment, but it's fucking well expensive.
Mhm. They are good though. Like I don't like the pick. I did well when the Pixel Grip first launched. When Target really changed the game, didn't they? They launched this brand new grip. They had this massive launch where everybody was there. Do you remember it? Dawson was hosting. Marder was there. Phil Taylor had new darts. Stephen Bunting had new darts. Adrian Lewis had new darts. Dave Chisnell had new darts, and they all had this Pixel Grip dart. And marketing-wise, that changed the game in terms of how to sell a dart. Because before that, it was a Red Dragon catalogue with Charlotte and Daniela with their tits out, or someone else would have a more traditional one, i.e. Unicorn, and that was how you purchased darts, or your shop might have a set for 30 quid or something.
Yeah.
Right? That wasn't a thing. Target changed the game with that a lot with that launch. But that Pixel Grip initially, which was my original point before I fired shots at everybody else, was horrible. It was so sharp. It didn't mill properly. Like it wasn't for me, basically. It was for some people, but I didn't like it. The modern day Pixel Grip is a lot less abrasive. And I think it's just more comfortable in people's hands. Like, they've got it right now.
Yeah, the original Pixel Grip, it used to take the skin off your thumb.
Yeah, it was horrible. It's still on the Agoras a little bit, if we're being honest. But the rest of the darts they seem to be producing it with is a lot nicer on it. And yeah, like Luke's darts are nice.
They are nice. And they're on the set. I think they feel great in hand. They do. And I get that they are more expensive to make than others are because of the work that goes into it. But it still needs to be affordable for people.
Yeah, which I have to say, look, I like some of the recent launches. The price points have been better for the normal. I look at the dart itself, and this isn't any brand in particular. This is in general. I get if it's got a load of fancy milling on. I look at the Josh Rock dart. That's got a lot going on, million-wise, and so on. So
it's got like 3 different designs up and down it. Like.
So you'd understand why that is more expensive because of the work that goes into it. But there was one point where there was just a straight barrel dart with ring grip on, and they were going out for like 90 quid. It's like, hang on a minute, that milling is just bulk standard.
Well, it's even as much as like the Gary Anderson limited edition one they did, like that was 501 quid. For a set, like there's just the normal set of darts with nothing different really to them. There's no extra cost to making them than what they make the normal ones. And like I get it if they were doing 10, 20 sets of them, but they did 500 sets of them. It's like they're not even that special at that point. Half the people, not half the people, but look, as many people
is still not a lot. Like it makes sense in a darting landscape. Is it as unique as it could be? No. Is it very easy to sell 500 sets of darts? Yeah. In today's climate, when you've got as many collectors around as you do, plus just general darts fans, like the ball hitters sold 500 sets of darts in 120 seconds.
Yeah.
They're a YouTube group of 3 players who, if I'm being completely honest, I'm pretty sure none of them even fucking throw them.
They might do now.
Just the tall one, I always forget what his name is. Ollie. I think he throws them, doesn't he?
I don't think Dan does.
No.
That's not me calling them out either, by the way, but it is just a case of how quickly you can sell 500 darts for people that, respectfully, in the wider context of darts, aren't big names. They're big in the influencer scene now, but they aren't big names in terms of they're not going to sell as many as Gary Anderson does or whatever else. But actually, for those couple of minutes when that when those darts launched, they were probably the best-selling dart in the world for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what the price point was on them either.
They were quite.
They're like 50, 60 quid, I think.
Yeah, they were right.
Yeah.
They were a decent price point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fine. I think anywhere like 50, 60, 70, 80 quid like is all right. I think when we start pushing up to 150, like someone said, Barney's new ones were 180 quid. Like it's stupid, isn't it?
If you're collecting, that's one thing, but for a dart to use down the pub, yeah, I agree. If you're collecting, then it's a bit different. But
yeah, of course. And if they are a collectible rather than just being the normal range, it is different. And like I say, I picked the Gandol ones out just because I just remember seeing it and just thinking 501 quid is taking the piss. And it was all because I wanted some and I couldn't justify it.
No, I agree. What are we expecting from the back end of 2025 now?
Michael Van Gerwen to win a lot of things from what he told us.
Gob, what are you expecting?
Not a lot of change, if I'm being honest. I can't see too many shocks in terms of what are inevitably going to get in the Premier League. It's fucking September and we're talking about the Premier League. Yes, the majors come thick and fast. I expect a couple of the boys to sneak into the Players' Championship finals. I don't think the majors are as open as they have been the last couple of years. I don't think we're going to see a Richie Adels winning the European Championships.
No, I agree.
We're going to see Richie Adels in the European Championships, which tells you everything you need to know about darts in a minute. It's just gone crazy. Yeah. The real worry is we're going to have a real good time building up to the World Championships. And then because of the increase in the field again, we hit a bit of a lull. And we'll excuse it because it is the World Championships. But that first round might be painful. I want to get this out there early now. Like, it's a couple of months away. People need to brace themselves for what could be an incredibly tough watch for the first couple of weeks. What you expect to happen is, I think there's 16 nights or 16 sessions of first round action.
Yeah.
Like that. You expect one of the top 16 in each of those sessions. I hazard a guess that they might say you're guaranteed 2 of the top 32, but that doesn't necessarily mean one of the top 16 in one of those sessions.
Yeah.
That will be enough quality to headline.
I'd be almost certain that would be the case.
Yeah. Because they're definitely going to double up a decent Friday or Saturday for your likes of Humphreys and Littler. They're going to put on a show and a big card. I can't see them both playing the same night sort of thing. But
no, one will play Friday, one will play Saturday. Or Saturday.
Yeah, but there'll also be maybe an outsider for the Premier League accompanying them that night. You might see a Josh Rock on the same evening as well or something along those lines where they can just sneak another one in and go for a big audience and just grip people again. But what that will mean is some of the other sessions are then just a little bit diluted and lots of qualifiers that aren't typically making TV events through the rest of the year suddenly playing on TV for lots of money trying to save their season and career doesn't necessarily make for good viewable darts.
No.
I don't want to bash the Asian tour, but the final, was it on Sunday between Alagan and Toilo? Oh my God. It was like 49 minutes for 11 legs.
They're not the quickest players in the world. Like,
no.
Matt Lachlan plays a decent pace. And there's another one. Now I'm going to sneeze. But yeah. Typically, it's not the fastest tour.
No, it's not. And it's like I say, if the darts are going in the board nicely and the scoring well, you can sort of deal with that. But when it's that sort of thing and they're averaging 80, it's a bit painful to watch. And when you're getting more sessions of that than ever before, it's gonna. I feel like the first couple of weeks is gonna feel a long time.
Yeah. Who's the US player going to the Slam? We will find out at the CDC Continental Cup heading your way. I think it's the weekend of the 16th, 17th, or 17th and 18th of October, whatever that weekend is. That is your CDC Continental Cup weekend, and we will find out there. Am I doing the whole tournament again? I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I've got a proper job these days.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a slog, that's for sure. But it's what we do. Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to see how the land lies and how these majors are spread out between, I'm going to say it, 3 or 4 players. Yeah. I agree. We don't get the Mike De Decker story, the Richie Edhouse story this year. I'm with you there.
Go on, then.
I think we'll see the odds.
Who are your winners? Give us your winners now. Early. Let's go in early.
Oh, Christ.
James Wade wins the World Grand Prix.
Nope. James Wade has a very, very good historical record in the Grand Prix. A recent record is fucking shocking.
But he's playing better now than he was. I think. The European Championships, I'm going Luke Humphries. The Grand Slam, do I say it?
Shoot him now.
You're giving it him. Is this the one?
I would love Gary to win it. Gary wins the slam, but I don't say that with. That's more hope than expectation. Littler wins the Players, and the Worlds. I don't know yet.
Terrible choices.
Who are you going for then?
Humphries wins the Grand Prix. The slam is won by Littler. I'll give Gezi Minehead.
Well, I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
What have I missed?
Europeans.
Yeah.
Europeans. Josh.
Again, I don't dislike it.
I think Johnny wins the Europeans.
I'd love to see a Johnny. Johnny resurgence is something I'm very much here.
Johnny wins the Europeans. Price wins the Grand Prix. Humphries is going to win something, isn't he? I think he gets in late, qualifies for the Players, and then wins it. And then the slam. I like Josh Rock for the slam.
Interesting. I do have to disagree with Gezi for the Grand Prix, which might come back to bite me on the ass, but Gezi, in his own words, for the last couple of years, when he has struggled, has notoriously bombed doubles, and you've just backed him to win an event where he has to hit 2 a leg instead of 1. Like,
but that's it.
If he's on it on tops, he is unbelievable. That's
what I mean, though. It's the first one, then I fancy it's the second one every time.
The semi-final the other year in the World Championships, he was exceptional on tops. Like, I think he missed twice in the first 14 attempts or something, didn't he? Like, he's that good on it. But I just don't back him to do it.
Yeah, I think if he's hitting the first one, I fancy he's hitting the second one. So,
to be fair, I don't look. Peter Wright can't win the slam. I'd love Peter to win.
Peter Wright can't win the football card at the minute.
The problem ain't any change.
The problem is with the slam is I think there's only a handful of players that can win the slam because of the format on that final day.
I thought you were going to say Michael and not Gary, and the problem is the format.
Yeah, I did. That's what I thought he was doing as well.
Pure nostalgia.
15, 16s and twice in 3 days. Yeah. When you've got issues with consistency, you're not going to do it.
Yeah, I did think you were going Michael as well.
No, I went the nostalgia. I think the slam is the hardest one to win because of that final day.
Yeah.
It's brutal the 2 best of 31s.
Yeah, that is it's a lot.
Yeah.
Right though, because they found an extra day, so you'll have to play twice on a Saturday at the World Series, but can't do it for one of the big Sky majors.
Well, of course, that would be to use logic, and we don't use logic when coming up with any of these things.
How very dare you, logic? What's going on here?
Logic and common sense. We're not having any of that.
No, stop it now.
What makes the most money? That's all we care about.
I tell you what, tonight has absolutely flown by. Literally 2 hours in the blink of an eye. It is.
We've not even done any questions.
No. To be fair, Rob makes a really good point there. Remember, if you haven't everyone yet, make sure you join the Discord group. If you wait there a second, I will put the link in the chat room. It's considering it's new, we've had some really good conversations in there so far. It's been good.
Yep. At some point, I might learn what it is because I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, it's
I am too old for this.
I will call Philip out for not putting our latest YouTube video in the new YouTube video section yet, but
I'll put it in a minute.
The last 4 hours. What I mean.
But yeah, the Discord group is going really, really well. So make sure you check this out. This will be available as an audio only in the morning, as always. And make sure you check out the interviews. There'll be plenty of clips from here and the interviews going out over the next week or so as well. Return for streaming for the Euro Tour this weekend. Someone's just joined Discord, so if you have the notification turn up. We will be back for the Euro Tour stream, so make sure you join us for that as well. But you guys take an absolute bow. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend 2 hours with you. Massive thank you to Ryan Searle. He was sensational. But I've been Phil Bars, Cam McFarlane, and Jack Garwood returning for this evening. It's Online Darts. We'll see you all very, very soon.
Bye.